angle of what we're doing, but there's also a lot of opportunities for a secondary market, which could be anything that is a commerce product to go into China. So we're excited about that as well. Yeah. But we just feel good that we're executing an opportunity, because a lot of people have got dreams, but we're actually executing it. So yeah. I can't wait to sit with you.
I bet you've got a whole.
months.
I can imagine that you've got a bunch of things going on in your mind, right?
Oh, for sure.
This is.
This is a perfect time for anyone to be great right now, because, as I said, everyone's their own media center. They can push out all their different information and stories through social media. People pick up on that. People are following you. The one-to-one marketing is so apparent now, rather than the one-to-many. I even see billboards, and when you're driving up the M1, I think, who's looking at those anymore? Everyone's about looking at their iPhones and digital, digital devices. So everyone is just their integration with social media and finding out what their friends are doing and what their groups are doing. It's just huge at the moment. We're in a perfect time.
That's right. I've got a really close mate who's struggling with his own identity right now, because he's by nature, great guy, a bit of a rock and roller by nature, okay? Everyone loves him, right? But now he's being a real estate agent. He, as you would, you go, oh, geez, I've got to become this guy, undo the do up the top button, but he's reaching sort of like, it's been a year now, and he's crumbling on the inside, because he sort of doesn't want to show his day-by-day work people, who he really is. But it's sort of just come to the realization, hang on a minute, I can. It's about being that, when you're talking about everyone's a media center, if you're a good person, it comes across anyway. Sure. You can do your business now.
You've got to be authentic. If you're not authentic, you're basically going to become extinct, because everyone's looking for that. If you're in the real estate space, you've got to be unreal as far as selling real estate. I've got a friend up at North Queensland, Stu Martin. I'll give him a plug. He's just a freak. He's just selling so much property because he's just being himself. And people
and trustworthy,
and he's honest. So he's one of those guys that's going to do really well in business, because people just go, this guy is absolutely for us first before himself, and that's the secret to business. Yeah, and you'd invite him to a barbecue sort of thing, like so there's a lot in that. Well, he's actually going to be speaking at Pole Sex as far as sports fishing, because he's a mad fisherman as well. So he's got some great advice on tackling and I think tackles and all that kind of stuff. So, would you fish? I don't fish much. I grew up fishing with my old man and stuff, but I don't do it now. I feel sorry for the fish. It's weird. I still eat them. Yeah. But I don't know. We went fishing up at Airlie Beach, and it was all on hand lines. We went out on one of these fishing charters there, and one of the boys brought up a giant trevally, like a really big GT, as they call them, right? Wow. I just went, wow, look at this monster. But because it was so big, I was like, oh, no, it's lived so long. And why are we keeping this poor thing? It's a big animal. Yeah. It's like bringing up a chimpanzee and just cutting it up in front of us. Like, no, it just changed my life. So you're a big believer in tag and release, obviously. Oh, yeah, I haven't even thought that far, but it stopped me fishing. Okay. Or just, crabbing, but people are going to get their passions anyway. I've got a friend who's up from Victoria just in the last week, and he used to be a mad wakeboarder and loved to go surfing and all that. And he's had bad knees, from all the sort of accidents he's happened. So fishing's his thing now. Yeah. So, I believe if people chase their dream of their thing. So whatever that is, go chase it, go do it really well. Hey, mate, and I love the idea of catching and eating what you catch is really a very good thing to do. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's there's something very awesome about that. Like I said to a friend here on this podcast, I said, if the power turns off right now, they won't be able to get the truck delivered to the IGA to get the milk and bread in there. Like, what are you going to do? Like, because it's all in the computer in the air now. Correct. So I've actually actively learned there's things like the council plant you can eat. And, I just actually spent some time trying to find out what I can eat around here, because it's funny, we never got taught really. Yeah, absolutely. So there are a few things. Fishing, you really need to know these things now and then. Absolutely. I want to ask you a question, Drew. Like, you've actually interviewed quite a few people on the Gold Coast. Like, what do you think we're breeding here at the moment as far as entrepreneurial skills and people who are just real go-getting attitudes? Do you see that happening a lot from people you speak to? I think so. Or more... I personally see two types of people. People like yourself that are clearly wake up and just want to do it, Yeah. And there's no, or more to the point, you're very obvious, because they're the other people who aren't.
you know, and they're sort of just trapped in a mindset. I don't know. I don't want to say it, but smoking ciggies and just, man, like they're locked into this sort of zone over here.
Sure, it's called status quo.
Yeah. Drones.
Yep.
You know, that's like, I think of people as like the drone bee, just over there. And not that they're bad at all.
Yeah.
But they haven't reached that mind yet, you know. So the people who are just going bang forwards over here.
Yeah.
Who did I meet the other day? Oh, a lot of cyclist guys who just get up and cycle in the rain. You can't deny
100% passion.
that 100% passion, and just they are the polar opposite of the person who's spending too much time eating donuts over there and making themselves miserable and you know. So that's. I really like that.
There's a saying that I've heard a few times. It's like, what makes your heart sing? If there's something that does that, just follow it and go hard at it. You know, like there's a lot of people who are trying to find themselves in this space at the moment, and they're spending more time on trying to elevate something that they need to improve on. I reckon find out what you're really good at and just laser focus it, and you'll be great at that. So, you know, really, because what everyone's trying to do is get more time. You know, time's the big currency now. If you can save time by using someone else or another service, great, do it. You know, find out how can I build on an activity that's going to be more perfect to my time that I've got to spend, because we're halfway through the year now. It's gone like that. Yeah. So the world is just racing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what's really cool about, so you made me think of it when we're talking about fishing, is isn't it cool to be involved in sports that aren't really destroying anything? You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You've got a BMX, you can jump over that dirt over there. You know, skating on that road right there, and doing all your tricks can be done right there in front of your house if you're a kid.
Yep.
That's it. And you know, nothing really's been new. You can even get an old BMX tomorrow and start learning all the tricks.
That's right.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's right.
You're not building, you know, I do like Formula One, but at the same time, I used to race cars a lot, and I thought, there's just a lot of noise and anger in this deal, you know? Then you get out in the ocean behind the waves and just sit there and look back on the world and go, oh, this is a beautiful place.
Everyone says that, who sits out there in the water, you know, they'll be waiting for a set to come, and I'll just look back at that land and say, geez, there's a lot of my problems there. But where I am right now in this zone with my tribe out here, we're in love. We're in love with the ocean. And that's the biggest draw card to surfing. And what I see really great is guys like myself who've started surfing. Then we wanted to sort of branch out and start surfing the land, which is snowboarding. And then from snowboarding, we start getting into wakeboarding. Then from wakeboarding, we want to start riding moto. And, you know, it's just a cross-pollination of everything, thrill-seeking, because we're just in this space where we just want to have more elevated experience. And it's funny, people that sit in those worlds and those tribes are all amazing people. So it's just, once again, storytelling. And you can go somewhere and be sitting around a campfire and you've had a great day, and everyone's just like, wow, man, how was that wave we got? Or, you know, how's that cornice we dropped? And it's like, wow, you know, we're just in this psyche stage of just loving life and loving the tribe we sit in.
Yeah, exactly. Tribes.
Yeah.
Tribes.
That's where it's heading, I can see it.
Isn't it great to be in a good tribe?
Yeah.
You find yourself like, wow.
Yeah. And I see a big thing called youthification, which is all the youth have got their own tribes. So, you know, that's the youth are driving the social media at the moment, and all the more mature market are looking back and going, wow, we need to get into that space, because we're actually growing out of the market and out of the trends. The youth are just, you know,
creating their own.
That's right. And that's why one of our biggest drivers for Pulse X is to really engage with the adolescent market, because they're the ones pushing forward new trends. Yeah. And we love that. So we want to be behind emerging businesses, emerging trends, and emerging sports stars. Yeah. You know, we want to take, I think I said it before, we want to take our athletes from just recreational riders who are just having fun in the local skate park, and then say, we want to teach you through our athlete roster program to say, we want to take you and make you perform at X Games. And take you through that, you know, sequence of opportunities by talking to some of the guys like Cole Baldock and a few of the other guys that have been there and experienced. Let's share that story and, you know, help everyone out.
And it often only takes that one person, like yourself, to say, hey, mate, you're good.
Absolutely.
You know, I know everyone at the skate park thinks you're good, but you're actually good. That's you know, you don't, you know, you could probably do all the tricks that you've learned on YouTube. Everyone here in Tugun or whatever, like, knows you're good. Yeah. But, mate, I think you're really good. You should do this show over here. And his life will change. Bang. 100%. And Gold Coast is merely another stopping place, you know, that these shows just go, you know, that's all it takes. And a lot of people, you know, they're just getting told by some key open-minded, mate, you're great. Go, really?
Because a lot of times at school, through the academic stages, the kids are being told you're not so great. You know, I know a lot of guys who are getting like B's and C's and D's who have now gone on to be entrepreneurs, and because they didn't follow the system, they just followed their heart and became great. And as I said, they laser focus on just what they're really good at, and that's where success will strive from.
Yeah.
So if I can give a message out today, it's just follow your heart. What makes your heart sing, go after it, and go after it super focused.
Yeah. But a lot of things need to be in place. Like as someone I know, it's not his lady giving him trouble, but he's got a lot of. I think you just want to shake some people and go, mate, you just got to get out of that cycle you're in, you know. But definitely, everyone around you, you have to be the leader in your own thing, and people follow. That's once you realise it clicks.
Yeah,
I got the greatest wife in the world. I actually didn't tell her about doing a lot of the things I do until they were already started. But I'm happy she just goes, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And like, wow, yes, keep going.
That's it. There's a lot of naysayers out there. You know, people don't want to see a lot of people succeed because they can't probably feel like they can succeed themselves. So, you know, you just got to give it 100% and get into that mode and just don't worry about what anyone else says.
Yeah. And even if you do hear one, you've got to hear one nay. You've just got to convince them. Yeah. You just got to, maybe you were right. Well, the next one I'm going to do is going to be better. Yeah. I'm going to convince you.
Yeah.
Because you can't, as far as I know, mate, I'm not a religious person, but as far as I know, I'm here once.
Yep.
And, I've done my time being bad, you know, but definitely I'm out of that now. And so, mate, I'm stoked you're here today. It's only been 40 minutes.
Well, what can I say? You know, my time on the Gold Coast has been fantastic. I did a lot of really great things. Let me just go back to some of the inspirational stuff I did with the Red Bull. We were at the Summerfield Days event, and I was lucky enough to convince Tom Segelski from Red Bull head office in Cultural to allow me to put 10,000 watts of sound under the Red Bull event tent at the Summerfield Days event. And, mate, talk about creating a wow factor. Like, we just had so many people engaging in around our tents. We had the Stafford brothers and Timmy Trumpet, #1 DJ in Australia at the moment, come and do a side project there because they were on the main stages, and we just had so much love, and you could just see it in the area, and the Red Bull area. So, you know, I believe that that was what the brand was about, was creating experiences and the real wow factor. And I think, great to be part of that. Now that with Pulse X coming on board, we can sort of replicate some really great activity and hopefully share a lot of that experience and give people great opportunities.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't mind these pauses, mate. I don't mind.
What else?
We're just people.
Yep, absolutely.
No, I do want to know about Russia. Hey, well, here's again, I'm onto it. China is just below Russia. Japan is just below Russia, or in a roundabout's way.
Correct.
But the people is completely different. Like, actually, Japan sort of almost links to Russia there. I say to my wife all the time, you know, like, just, it's so strange being an Australian because we're in an island.
Yep.
You know, and even our Aboriginal people are so different visually to the Indonesians and Maori people, right?
Yep.
So, but when I go overseas, I can't believe that just a little bit of a line over here, you got a completely different culture and visual looking people.
Yep.
They're Russians.
Yep.
Right. What town do you go to there?
We're going to St. Petersburg. So
east, west, south?
Eastern.
Okay.
So we're really interested because it's a new market. Not many people have sort of identified Russia as a market for international buyers. So I won't go into it too much because I'm not really the one to speak on that. There's more people in our department sort of discovered our route into that way. But yeah, for me, it's more the Australian show and definitely the Chinese connection next year, which has been the most exciting. But I'd love to come back after we do the show in December and talk about the next stages and how that's all progressing.
Yeah. What are you going to do at the show in Brisbane? Like, you personally, tell me the life of a, what would you call yourself there, an event management?
Yeah, no,
manager?
I'm just supporting the marketing of the event. I just want to really be involved with the excitement that happens. Want to make sure that the shows are really engaging and of high value. That's really part of it. I want to make sure the merchants and vendors get a good opportunity to speak to consumers they've already got and new ones that are coming past. The main thing for the show is to actually integrate as a festival does, people who have seen products but not really understanding of what they are and who they and what they do. Yeah. So it's a great time, as I keep going back to the brand stories. I can see a lot of opportunities for people